Welcome to Ms. Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 celebs who have been catfished. Number 10. Neve Schulman. Neve Schulman is the co-creator and co-host of Catfished, the TV show. He was a photographer and was sent some paintings of his photographs supposedly made by an 8-year-old girl, Abby. Through his correspondence, he eventually met her singer-songwriter half-sister Megan, with whom he embarked on an intense, passionate, months-long online relationship. However, after a screw-up on Megan's part, Schulman ended up finding out it was all lies, and everyone he was talking to, including Megan, was fake. A woman named Angela was running several different Facebook profiles, weaving a tall tale.
The personalities that came out were just fragments of myself.
Number 9. Chris Anderson. Anderson met a then-teenage Paris Dunn online in 2011, developing a relationship and exchanging increasingly explicit photos. When the two finally spent a weekend together in person, they found that things were a little bizarre. Each of them would mention things that didn't seem to make sense to the other. A woman in Manitoba, Canada had been catfishing both parties. That's right, she was communicating with Anderson and Dunn as each other, lying about things like the latter's age. Eventually, accusations against Anderson concerning underage photographs were cleared, and he was able to resume his professional career. Number 8. Patrick McAfee. Sports analyst and former Colts football player Patrick McAfee claimed that a woman started to send him tweets flirting and such. McAfee ignored her for a while, skeptical because he wasn't a household name at that point. After checking out her profile, however, he noticed she was conversing with other athletes and figured it was probably legitimate. He chatted on and off with her for a few months, but he called things off after apparently having a dream that told him the woman was actually a man.
I was like, I'm not going to be a part of this again. I'm not going to do this ever again. I feel terrible.
A short while later, he saw her pictures and name on Catfished, the TV show. Number 7. Iggy Azalea. Iggy Azalea once found a fan on one of her accounts named Azalean for Life. She found the person intriguing and added them, but then the star received a text message from her mother revealing to her that she was in fact Azalean for Life.
Baby, I do this. I thought that you knew this. Can't stand no haters and honest, the truth is.
We're not even sure if this catfish was fully done on purpose, but it's a little funny, bizarre, and somehow pretty endearing. As for Azalea, she was embarrassed that she fell for it. Number 6. Thomas Gibson. In 2011, actor Thomas Gibson, best known for his role as Agent Hotchner on Criminal Minds, met a woman on social media. There were racy photographs and videos shared as a result. The tryst lasted about 2 years until he discovered that the media he had been receiving were actually lifted from adult websites.
Paying attention to these items projects a kind of importance on them. When he comes in, I'd like to give him the opportunity to show us which parts of the crimes he thinks are important.
His lawyers attempted to contact the culprit to end things, but they failed to prevent her from sharing her story with TMZ, alongside a video of Gibson. Number 5. Tracy Toms. Toms had come into contact with Sammy, an adoring fan, online. The two chatted frequently on Twitter, and Toms was grateful to find a supporter who provided some extra publicity. Around the same time, the celeb was contacted by another fan, Reese. The latter was eventually said to have died, and Toms was sent video footage of the funeral. That's when she started having doubts, ultimately bringing Catfish into the mix.
There was just something there, and I was like, something's not right. I don't know what it is. And then Dead Reese just favorited her own RIP tweet.
After some sleuthing, the show found Sammy and discovered she had come up with the Reese profile. She was basically just a lonely, bored individual. The footage was from Sammy's cousin's funeral. Number 4. Meri Brown. Meri Brown is well known by fans of TLC's Sister Wives. In 2014, she ended her marriage to her husband Cody for legal reasons, yet remained with him. The two, however, were having issues. She engaged in an online relationship with a man named Sam Cooper. The two exchanged photos, voicemail, and countless private messages of the risque variety. This relationship carried on for about 6 months, after which the star found out she was actually communicating with a woman named Jackie Overton. Overton then reportedly made materials she had been sent public.
Why does she do this? You know, I mean, is she just evil.
Number 3, Brad Paisley and Kimberly Williams-Paisley. In 2012, actress Kimberly Williams-Paisley and her husband, country music star Brad Paisley, corresponded with a woman and her daughter, who was allegedly dying of neuroblastoma. The couple grew fond of the story and exchanged photos and emotional calls with the two. Brad Paisley actually sang a song for the young child. The couple were crushed when they found out that the girl had succumbed to her cancer. However, it turns out she never existed. The entire thing was an elaborate ruse created by a mother of 2 kids, neither of whom were sick.
She hit my softest spot. Like, as a mother, wanting my kids to be okay.
Number 2, Danielle Fishel. In 1993, when she was beginning to receive celebrity attention, she received a letter on paper the old school way from a fan claiming to be a young girl. The person eventually also sent along photos of her brother, whom she claimed was her guardian, and a number so that the two could chat on the phone.
Well, that's not so creepy.
The calls weren't answered, and the voicemail suspiciously belonged to a man. Fishel then got word that the girl had died, realizing she'd been tricked. Scarier still, the catfisher started stalking her, though she didn't go into detail on that front. Number 1, Manti Teo. In 2009, a Facebook profile belonging to a fake person, Lene Kakua, began to communicate with Notre Dame college football player Manti Teo. The two eventually began a months-long online romance, sharing lengthy, emotional conversations. In 2012, Teo received word from Lene's brother that she had cancer. She then died on the same day as his grandmother, crushing his spirit. But it was all a sham. The fact that he was catfished was exposed, and Teo was publicly ridiculed as a result. The woman behind Kakua, Naya Tuisasopa, later came out as transgender and has explained that the ordeal started to help her cope with her identity issues.
I didn't know what the hell I was doing because it was so new, but I knew what I wanted.